On August 18th, 2018, Julie Jackson's life came to end on this stretch of Register Road in Baldwin County. Over the last several episodes, we've listened to the people who spent Julie's final hours with her. We've compared interviews, we've examined the timeline, we've followed the paperwork. And today, we're opening another official document, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Autopsy Report. Because witness statements tell us what people remember, and autopsy tells us what the medical examiner documented. Those are two very different things. Today, we're not here to speculate. We're not here to assign blame. We're here to read the paperwork. Let's open the docket. An autopsy is not designed to answer every question in an investigation. It doesn't tell us why Julie got out of the vehicle. It doesn't tell us where she walked. It doesn't tell us what happens in the minutes before the 911 call. An autopsy documents what the medical examiner observed after death. So today, let's read what the paperwork actually says. According to the report, Julie Jackson was 32 years old when she was found unresponsive lying in the roadway. She was pronounced dead at the scene at 5 a.m. The report notes that she exhibited multiple blunt force injuries and directs investigators to the medical examiner's records for additional investigative information. The medical examiner documents Julie's clothing, identifying characteristics, and then begins documenting every visible injury: scrapes, bruises, lacerations. Each one is measured, each one is described, each one becomes a part of the permanent record. Now, one injury immediately stood out to me. The medical examiner documented what he called a stellate laceration to the left occipital scalp. That's a medical term. In plain English, a stellate laceration is a star-shaped tear in the skin, and the occipital scalp simply means the back of the head. So what you're looking at is a star-shaped tear on the back of Julie's head. The report goes on to describe bleeding beneath the scalp and around the brain associated with this injury. Now here's what's important. The autopsy documents what the injury is. It does not identify the specific object that caused it. The report doesn't say whether the wound came from the roadway, from a vehicle, or from another hard object. It simply documents what the medical examiner observed. That's an important distinction. As the examination continues, the report documents catastrophic injuries throughout Julie's body: multiple fractures involving the chest and pelvis, a fracture dislocation where the base of the skull meets the spine, tears involving the heart, the lungs, the diaphragm, the liver, the spleen, the abdominal aorta, the bladder, and extensive internal bleeding. These are not conclusions. These are the medical findings documented during the autopsy. Then the report also includes the toxicology findings. According to the report, Julie's virtuous ethyl levels measured at 0.10 grams per 100 milliliters. For context, that's well above the legal driving limit of 0.08 used in the state of Georgia. The report also documents the presence of hydrocodone, cilantropram, and hydroxyzine. The toxicology reports tells us what substances were detected. It does not tell us exactly how Julie was functioning at any particular moment. Jennifer and Josh both described Julie running away from the vehicle after getting out. The toxicology report is one piece of the story, witness interviews are another. It's the investigation job to fit the pieces together. The report concludes with the medical examiner's opinion. According to the report, Julie died as a result of multiple blunt force trauma. The report further states that the injuries are consistent with an upright pedestrian being struck by a vehicle and then subsequently being run over by a vehicle. And the manner of death is classified as an accident. Those are the medical examiner's conclusions based on the examination. Every investigation has two parts. You have the medical evidence, and then there's the investigative evidence. And today, we walk through what the medical examiner documented. Not what someone assumed, not what someone speculated, not what someone remembered, but what the report says. But this investigation doesn't end with an autopsy, because there's still questions about the timeline, questions about the phone, questions about the investigation itself. And those are questions we'll continue following through the documents, because every page tells its own story, and every document brings us closer to what happened to Julie that night. This is Lamar King Sr., investigative analyst, new media, where the truth will never be silenced. Be great today. Peace.